Would you look at that? CLOV CLover hitting a high this morning of almost $25. That's right. I made a video just yesterday talking about this play, and here we are, breaking over a key area. Gonna talk about what went down and what's going on right now in my plan going forward, and how those options I talked about, those $15 call options, are up over 500%. Breaking it down right here in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Patrick here, and if you remember, just yesterday I made a video about CLOV. Talked about the possibility of a massive squeeze over $12. Squeeze above $12. I think over $12 will really get the party started. Will really get us going to the moon here. If you're wondering, we are using the Interactive Brokers platform here, and there's that $12 resistance. Had a high today, almost at $25 so far. So CLOV playing out beautifully, just beautifully, my friends. It also is making the news as well today as Clover Health emerges as the top Wall Street bets interest as it outperforms AMC BlackBerry stocks on Monday. It had over 1,600 mentions on the forum. And, well, we talked about how the short interest was 36% of the total float. And that's why we thought there was a really good percent for this stock to go higher. A really good chance for CLOV to go higher. Even with all of the kind of bad news and stuff around it as well, the big thing really came down to the question of how many shorts can get squeezed and how high can it really go here with CLOV. Now, if we look at the options, this is what we really want to look at here. CLOV options, those $15 calls that I told you about on the 18th of June expiring. If you look, remember, yesterday those calls were 75 cents. Today, they're trading at $5. At one point, they spiked to a high, I think, of $10. So they were up over 1,000% at the peak when CLOV was up at $25. So if you guys missed out on this play, I don't know what you've been doing. I don't know where you've been, what happened. You're obviously not subscribed to this channel. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because literally laid out this entire play just yesterday, talking about CLOV, talking about everything behind it and what was going on. And I still think there's plenty of upside to go here. So if you go over to the CLOV Reddit page, remember yesterday there was 10,000 people subscribed to this. Now there's 14,000 people subscribed to the CLOV setup. A lot of people talking about how this is going to go to $100. Now, obviously, I like to err on the side of caution. Remember, there's always substantial risk involved with investing, especially with these types of stocks. So please, if you're on the fence, if you're in the green and you're like, hey, I want to hold forever, well, take a little bit of profit along the way, leave a little bit of runners. But still, if you're up 100, 200, 300%, don't be afraid to take a little bit of profit along the way. And you can see here, again, CLOV talking about how it's been memed 913 times over BlackBerry, over AMC, over GME. This one is the mover today. CLOV still having opportunity to run. This one talks about how CLOV yesterday was $9, 42% of the float shorted, with over 100% of the float held by institutional per NASDAQ data. So talking about Clover being the GME 2.0 and how the AMC highs have just been kind of disappointing along the way. AMC recently went from the $12 area to $77. So if we do the math here, this has 5 times the float. So AMC went to $77. It's now at $50. It has 5 times the amount of shares that CLOV has. So CLOV has 100 million shares in the float. AMC has 500 million shares in the float. And we know they've been selling shares as well. So they've been depressing the stock price by selling those shares. And just in general, they've added onto the float. So the float is larger. Did you guys miss out on CLOV? Did you not know about this play? Well, obviously you're not subscribed to the channel. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's go. So AMC hitting $77 and CLOV hitting almost $25 today. So you're thinking that you still got a 3 to 4 times move from here. So CLOV has the potential. Remember, it's always about potential. This is not investment advice. This is not telling you that you should go out and buy CLOV right now or anything like that. This is not what this is. This is just me talking about the difference between AMC here with 500 million shares in the float going to $77 and CLOV with only 100 million shares in the float. There's a very, very good potential here for CLOV, comparing it to AMC in the past, for CLOV to go to, I would say, $100 at this point. So we hit $25 on the first real spike of the day. There's really good potential here. If CLOV, the key at this point, guys, the real key for people holding CLOV for CLover right now is to hold this area. If it can hold $15 to $20 for more and more days, it can get the squeeze started. It can get the gamma squeeze going. All of these options are going to expire in the money. So the longer that this stock can hold this level, the longer that it can hold, the better the opportunity is for a squeeze and for this to go to the moon. We've already pushed above all-time highs on CLOV. The all-time highs were right around $15, $16, $17. So we're already through there. That was some people's target as well. When they first started this, they were like, hey, if we can just get back to the initial price, the initial offering price, well, then this would really be kind of a good setup here. But we're already far past that. We've already blown through that ceiling. And now CLOV has this comparison with AMC, comparing it to everything else in the market with GME. GME went to $400. It's got 50 million shares in the float. So GME went to $400. So we'll say, and it's got half. So in theory, comparing GME, comparing AMC, CLOV has potential. Always it's coulda, shoulda, woulda, and all that. But it has the potential to break over $100. If you compare this to GameStop in the past, you compare this to AMC squeeze, there is very good potential here for CLOV to break over $100. I know that sounds insane at this point, but just yesterday when the price was $11, it sounded insane for it to break over $20 just the next day. And here we are. It broke over $20. So CLOV, if you're not in on this play, I don't know if you missed out already or not, but like I said, this is not advice to go out and buy it. This is not me pumping it higher and all anything like that. This is just me covering the news and covering what's happening. CLOV to the moon, baby. And like I said, we're comparing this to AMC and GameStop. The float is really the thing to focus on here. CLOV has more shares shorted than AMC and GME. And, well, it's got a smaller float. So also this article just came out talking about how CLover Health could be a millionaire maker stock. The health insurance company went public on January 8th, led by billionaire investor Chamath. I think that's how you say it. Shares have risen more than 150% in the last 5 days. It's being driven by the Wall Street bets community and the high shorting activity that's been betting against this stock that's been published by the Hindenburg Research in February. Hindenburg made a series of allegations about the business. So a lot of shorts ended up piling in there, and this really is like the perfect storm here. Really is the perfect storm for this to get going here. So if you go to this website here, you can type in different tickers, and you can see the percentage short here. It's showing right now 36% of the float is short. It's increased or decreased by 8%. I think it's increased. So right now there's 40 million shares shorting, and you've only got 112 million shares short. So we've got a bump up there. We've bumped up from 37 to 40,000 now. The shorts are piling in here today. I think this is live as well. So right now I'm showing $17, and the short interest is 36%. So there's still a lot of potential here for CLOV to go to the moon, and that's what we're focused on right now. That $100 target. CLOV, can she break over $100? I think there's a pretty good possibility. Like I said before, there's always risk involved with investing. This is not advice. Please, people, do not make trades based on this information. This is just me literally just creating a story or a news story following along on this amazing opportunity here with CLOV. So if you guys have already, do me one big favor, hit that like button, subscribe button, all the buttons down below. I will talk to you guys later on.